Hi everyone, hope all is well. I haven't been live for a little bit. I said to myself I would jump on. Primary reason being is that I was so busy over the last couple of days. I did not get to come and wish the beautiful woman online following me, those who may come across this video, happy International Women's Day. But for me, every day is International Women's Day. So if this is the first time you're seeing from me, hearing from me, my name is Prudence Williams Laborde. I am a success coach. I am an author and speaker located in the beautiful island of Twin Island state of Trinidad and Tobago. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about the theme of International Women's Day, which is called Accelerate Action. And before I go further, share this live with persons who you know would benefit from it for sure. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about the theme of International Women's Day, which is about accelerating action. And when I saw this theme, I was like, this aligns perfectly with how I serve my clients, because one of the core areas we work on is taking courageous, inspired action. I work with you on developing the mindset, the strategy, the tactics, and the tips to allow you to take those actions consistently. So I'm like, wow, I love this theme, and I want to jump on and share some practical tips on how we as women can accelerate action in every area of our lives. Yeah, so remember to share. If you're catching the replay, let me know in the comments, and let me know if these tips are helpful, right? So put a heart, a thumbs up if you are ready to hear these tips. And listen, while I'm talking about International Women's Day, and for me, as I mentioned, every day is International Women's Day. And International Women's Day in itself is so important because it's a way of commemorating, the women's fight for equality, liberation, that struggle that we've gone through over the years, and to get that equality. So while these tips could be useful for anyone, I really want to ensure that we keep that top of mind. As women, we always need to press forward. We need to accelerate action to ensure that we do what we're supposed to do and that eventually we get what we're supposed to get. Yes? So let's talk about some tips. But before that, I wrote down my notes. I want to ensure that I don't miss anything. Before that, I want to touch on a few reasons why women struggle in general to take action, right? So we have a few reasons, and I can identify with all of them, because once upon a time, I would have been chief cook and bottle washer in every one of these areas. Fear of failure or judgment, this whole what will people think, definitely some areas why we as women struggle to take action. We're always feeling as if we need to prove ourselves, and in proving ourselves, we're always thinking about what will people think. Will I get the place and the space on the table? Would I get what I deserve? And that in itself causes some inaction because we're overthinking. Overwhelmed because of all these struggles, lack of clarity, and I'm going to be dropping a video soon on how to be more clear. Feeling guilty for prioritizing themselves and ourselves, and I think especially mommies would identify with this one. Prioritizing everyone else except yourself. If that resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Perfectionism. I'm like, I always say this in my videos, that I am the recovering queen of perfectionism. Perfectionism causes inaction because you're stuck in, the other point I want to raise, overthinking. Yeah? So fear of failure, judgment, overthinking, overwhelm, lack of clarity, feeling guilty for prioritizing ourselves, perfectionism. All of those reasons are why we fail to take action. And what's the cost of this inaction? You obviously didn't get what you set out to do or what you would have intended to do because you didn't do it, right? Obviously. So you miss the opportunities. A lot of us are living in could-haves, would-haves, and should-haves because we did not do what we would have intended to do. Stagnation. So you're stuck in that role, you're stuck in that job, you're stuck in that place for years because you're not taking action, or you did not take action. You become frustrated, you become stressed, and you lose confidence and fulfillment. And let me know if you identify with these. And let me know if there are any others, right? I'm seeing here in the comments, annoyance. You become annoyed. And then now you want to blame everybody else except yourself. So you need to take time to sit down and assess as it relates to why am I not taking action. Do some soul searching, do some journaling. Just take that time to understand. These are some of the reasons. They're definitely not exhaustive. So let's talk about tips. Tips on how we can accelerate action. My favorite part. So you don't want to stick on the problem, you want to move to solutions. And let me know in the comments what's something that you have been putting off, so I can maybe use it as an example as I give some of my tips. So we're going to go quickly. If you have any questions, let me know. So get crystal clear on your goal. Define what success looks like for you. Not what your mommy wants, not what your daddy wants, not what your boyfriend or girlfriend wants, not what your husband or wife wants. What do you want? What does success look like for you? Once you're clear, you gain that confidence and that courage to take action. Visualize. Visualize to actualize. That's one of my sayings. Visualize to actualize. What does it look like for you? Close your eyes. Take a moment. Picture yourself achieving that goal. What are you doing? How are you feeling? Where are you in that space of successfully achieving that goal? Get crystal clear. Another tip to accelerate action is to silence the inner critic. Now, limiting beliefs usually creep up, and that whole imposter syndrome, all of those negative things come up, especially when we're about to challenge and tackle something new. You know, the brain has a way of trying to protect us and preserve us from hurt, from pain. So you create these false rhetorics and stories to protect yourself, and protecting yourself means that you're not going to do anything. It's causing inaction. So you have to challenge those limiting beliefs and replace them with powerful affirmations. Powerful affirmations you need to replace them with. I thought I had my journal here because there's a whole space dedicated to writing out your affirmations daily. So you need to speak life to yourself. Affirm the person of who you are becoming, and who you want to be. Yeah? So you need to rewrite, you need to reframe, you need to reorder your thoughts. You know, sometimes when, the negative thoughts come in, ask yourself, is it true? What's the possibility of this happening? So challenge those negative thoughts and speak life to yourself. Write your affirmations, and I write my affirmations tied to the word of God. So I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am chosen. I am redeemed. I am prepared. I am equipped. I am intelligent. Speak life. Be your biggest cheerleader. I repeat, be your biggest cheerleader. Number 3, start before you're ready. And this one resonates with me, right? Sometimes we overthink, right? So we spoke about the overthinking already. And that overthinking tied with perfectionism. We're waiting for the right time. What's the perfect time? I need to do this on this date. And when that date comes, something else happens. Stop trying to create a perfect scenario. A technique of mine, a favorite technique of mine, is Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You count down whenever you're not feeling to do something, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You get up, you go, and you get it done. Take imperfect action. Because when you take action, it builds consistency. And when you build that consistency, you get better, you get braver, you get bolder. Take imperfect action. I like to give you a story of when I went on my first live. Listen, if you had seen my tripod or phone holder, whatever you want to call it, it was in a mess. It was like a little Frankenstein thing, contraption. When I came on, I was twisted. People had to tell me to straighten up myself. Yeah? Take imperfect action. But if I did not take that step, then I would not have done it again and again and again and gained the confidence. Take that step. Start before you're ready. You will never feel ready, just letting you know. Even when you hear accounts of those famous singers, they will tell you they feel nervous before going on stage. But when they go on stage and positive energy and feedback from the audience, they get into their zone. But they don't deny the fact that they were scared. So take imperfect action. Start before you're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up and get it done. Break it down. Sometimes things seem larger than life. And only when you scale it down, you reduce the action to the smallest possible step, it seems achievable. How do you bite and eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So break it down, break it down into manageable steps to avoid overwhelm. Set a deadline. And here's another thing. Make it public. Make it public. So you mightn't be brave enough to tell somebody or to tell a large group on what you're working on. That's okay. But this speaks to having an accountability partner, right? So accountability speeds up action. You have a task to do. Give yourself a deadline. Ask somebody to hold you accountable. I have an accountability partner right now because there are some things I need to get done. And if I don't have an accountability partner, I would remain in inaction. I will not do it because it's not a fun task to do, but I need to do it and I need to get it done. So set a deadline, make it public, share your goal with a trusted friend and mentor or mentor. Leverage support and ask for help. Guys, life is not meant to be journeyed alone. A lot of us struggle because we are afraid to raise our hand and ask for help. How many of y'all end up in that cycle of not achieving your goal because you don't want to tell somebody about it? And sometimes it's tied to pride, at least with me, tied to pride. You don't want to feel as if you are inadequate, inept, you can't do stuff. But life is not meant to be journeyed alone. God has uniquely gifted persons with skills, talents, abilities. We're all connected in some form or fashion. We all need each other. You are here to solve a problem for somebody else, and somebody else is there to solve a problem for you. Yeah? Leverage support. Coaches need coaches. Even Oprah Winfrey has a coach, right? You don't have to do it alone. A coach is gifted in a way to help you see blind spots. They are skilled to guide you towards achieving your goal. They are skilled to see things that you may not see. They are skilled to help you with that execution, right? So when I work with my clients, I help them see possibilities. I help them see blind spots. I help them work on the mindset, I help them create the goal that's meaningful. I help them break it down into actionable steps. We put it on a strategic plan so you would see all of the key milestones. Yeah? So get help, leverage support. All right. Prioritize. Prioritize. And protect your time. And if you've been following me long enough, you know what this ties to. Boundaries. Healthy boundaries. Boundaries are important. They let the good in, they keep the bad out. They help us protect what's important, what's valuable, including your time. So if you're not achieving your goal, if you're not taking action, if you're not accelerating action, which is the whole theme of International Women's Day this year, take a look at your boundaries. Take a look at your boundaries. Are they porous? Meaning anything could go in, go out. As we say in Trinidad Ashlands, it could fall on a Sunday. What do you value? You know that you have this goal to work on. But yet, anytime a friend calls and say, hey, let's go and have dinner somewhere, let's go and bust a lime somewhere, as we say in Trinidad, you drop what you're doing and you go with them. Healthy boundaries support you taking action. And that's why in my coaching, we dedicate time on assessing your boundaries and creating your boundaries and learning how to say no. So how many of you struggle with how to say no? How to say no to distractions? How to say no to temptations? You know what you need to do, but you're just allowing anything to pull you and push you in different directions. You need to check your boundaries. Say yes to what truly matters. Say yes to your dreams. Say yes to your goals. Say yes to taking action on things that will move you closer to living the life that you love. Yeah? So that was number 7. So for those of you who just joined, I am touching on the theme of International Women's Day, which is accelerate action, and I'm sharing some tips on how you can accelerate action to achieve your goals. So far we touched on getting clear on your goal, silencing the inner critic, starting before you are ready, breaking down your goals, setting a deadline and making it public in the sense of sharing your goal with a trusted friend or mentor, leverage support and ask for help, prioritize and protect your time. Any questions, any comments? And if you're catching the replay, you will let me know which tip you are going to take today to accelerate action. You know, as women, we have our unique challenges. We spoke a little bit about perfectionism, fear of failure, fear of success, overwhelm, lack of clarity, overthinking, and especially for the mummies, prioritizing everybody else except themselves. Yeah? And the cost of that inaction is that we miss out on opportunities. We become stagnated, frustrated, somebody said earlier, annoyed. We lose confidence in ourselves. So this live is all about giving you tips how to accelerate action so that you can be courageous, you can get your stuff done, move forward, accelerate action. So we have 3 more. This one is interesting. Embrace discomfort and take bold risks. How many of you all are ready to take bold risks? Sometimes my hand is afraid to go up at times because as women we've been cultured to be risk aversive. We don't like to take risks. We prefer to always take it safely. But sometimes we need to step out. Growth is on the other side of our comfort zone. So I want you to take a moment and think, what are some of the things you know you need to do to take you to the other side of your goal? So what you need to do, but you're afraid to do it because it might seem uncomfortable. It might seem risky. It might mean asking for that promotion. It might mean looking at other job opportunities. It might mean taking a course. You might have to take an educational loan. It might mean moving out of your current apartment and getting a new house. There are many areas. It might mean going and do a health check. You know that you need to do it, but you're afraid because you don't know what might be the result. But knowledge is power. So embrace discomfort. Just think about the process of a butterfly. The butterfly is in this uncomfortable cocoon before it becomes a beautiful butterfly. It's going through that process of uncomfortable transformation. And when it goes through that process of discomfort, there is beauty. So there's beauty behind the discomfort, and that beauty is the attaining of your goal. So embrace discomfort. Celebrate small wins. Number 9. I love this one because we're so busy chasing action, we're so busy chasing tasks that we forget to just stop and just celebrate how far you've come. You've survived days, months. You thrived. You achieved. Celebrate those mini goals. You remember? Was it step 4? Break it down. Celebrate the little milestones that you would have achieved. Celebrate yourself. You know, one of my friends challenged me the other day to write a list of things I could do to celebrate myself. And listen, it was one of the hardest things for myself. You know, I wrote down some simple ones like buying my favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream. You know, I'm trying to manage eating the snacks and all the sweets. But once I achieve something, I would celebrate myself and get my Haagen-Dazs ice cream, my salted caramel with peanuts sprinkled on the top. Listen, try it. So I would celebrate myself in those little ways, you know. So celebrate. And celebrating is also a reflection of gratitude, being grateful for your journey. So yes, we're all about accelerating action, but we also want to enjoy the process, right? And celebrate ourselves. Be your biggest cheerleader. And number 10, which, if I was putting this in a chronological order, would be number 1. Trust in God. Trust, and this is a big part of the mindset. Trust that God has already equipped you. He has already equipped you. One of my favorite scriptures is Ephesians 2:10. Ephesians 2:10, which says, I want to make sure I do not misrepresent the word, for we are his workmanship. Some translations says handiwork, masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk with them, in them, For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. So what does that mean in a nutshell? God has already equipped and empowered you. He knew you before. You know, the old people used to say, when they say, I know you before you're born. Yeah, God knew you before you were born. He knew you before you were placed in your mother's womb. He counts the very hairs on your head. He captures your tears. He created you for a purpose. And you need to remind yourself of that purpose. And know that God has equipped you. Yes, you might feel scared, and that's okay. It's a natural emotion. But take steps anyway. When God told Joshua after Moses has died that he was the next in command. Listen, I feel Joshua was real frightened, because 3 times in chapter 1, God told him, do not be afraid, be courageous, essentially. For I am with you. He told him 3 times, my brethren, don't be afraid. And I think God is so intentional. He told him that because he knew that Joshua was frightened. You know how it is to assume leadership. You didn't even prepare. Well, he was prepared, but you didn't know when the person was going to die, right? And you have to take a position. You now have to accelerate action. You have to take people to the promised land, right? Yes, you were Moses' right hand. You were his apprentice. But people are never prepared to start a new role like that, right? And God told him multiple times, and I'm going directly to the word here, be strong and of good courage. Be strong and of good courage. So I am telling you tonight, be strong and of good courage, because God has already equipped you. And God told Joshua that because he knew that he was already prepared. He knew that. But he needed to remind Joshua, because Joshua was frightened. So it's okay to be scared, but take action anyway, knowing that God's got you and that you are well equipped. So if you needed some encouragement, I trust that that encourages you, that you are able, you are capable, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are equipped. You are built for this. You are built for this. Remind yourself of that every day. If you need to write it on sticky notes and stick it in strategic points in your home, on the mirrors, by the fridge, by the stove. Remind yourself of who you are and whose you are. So I'm going to run through the 10 tips really quickly again. Get crystal clear on your goal. Silence the inner critic. Start before you're ready. Break it down. Set a deadline. Make it public. Tell a friend. Leverage support. Did I say break it down? Prioritize and protect your time. Embrace discomfort and take bold risks. Celebrate small wins. Faith and action equals acceleration. Trust in God. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if I'm now seeing the comments. Oh my gosh. Darren, yes, I'm trusting that this is being saved. And as I mentioned, although I'm focusing on International Women's Day, these tips will help anyone accelerate action. But the biggest takeaway is that last point. Faith and action equals acceleration. You can't accelerate without trusting in God, or else you will be like a hamster on a hamster wheel, just running and going nowhere. Remember to rest, not only physically but spiritually. Rest. As women, improving ourselves, we want to do the most. Remember to rest. So that is it. I am so happy that I came on live. I almost did not do it because I had a long day, but I am glad that I did. I trust that this blesses you. For those of you who want to sign up for my email list, every Monday I send an email, a motivational Monday email. Go to the link in my bio and you would see a link tree, and in there you would see, I think to the bottom, you would see sign up for my Monday motivation. That's one way that I serve my community, of sending those emails with tips, insights, inspirations to keep you anchored. And also my email community gets first dibs on anything that I offer. You know, I want to encourage us that don't focus on the feeling, focus on the doing, focus on the bigger picture. Remember, you are here on earth to solve a problem. You are the answer to somebody's prayer. And when you take things from that perspective, you will push past the feeling and you will focus on the doing, because trust me, you know what you need to do, right? Focus on the execution. No matter what your profession, you could be a cleaner, you could be a driver, you could be whatever. You are not here on earth by chance. You are here on earth by God's choice. He chose you, and do not take that for granted. Do what you can and do it well. Everything you do is service unto God. And when you do that, when you think about it, you will be more intentional with your time. Sorry, you'll be intentional with your words. You'll be intentional with your relationships. So you are chosen. You are built for this. Push past the feeling and focus on the doing. So have a wonderful rest of the day, the night, the evening, whatever time you're watching this. I don't know why I'm getting hiccups. But I pray that God continues to bless you and continue to use you for His purpose and for His glory. And remember to accelerate action. Bye.